Delighted to say we are joined once more by Stef Kerwin, who has brought in a basket of food. Stef, what have you brought with you?
Oh, well, we've bought a rainbow of delights grown by Mother Earth. Do you want me to go through which ones?
Well, tell us first of all what this is all about, because we're talking Eat a Rainbow, aren't
Eating
we?
rainbows. So anybody that knows me, I'm a naturopath, medical herbalist. So anybody that knows me knows, or follows me on Facebook, knows that I am always going on about eating more vegetables and fruits as well, but mostly more vegetables. We are so deficient in vegetables. And most people that come in to see me with many, many different health problems have a very common thing. Everybody's stressed, so we've already talked about stress, and not everybody is eating enough vegetables. So we try and make it fun and talk about, the different constituents that are in different vegetables. So all the different colours of the rainbow contain really important substances, and we can go through each colour if you like a bit later.
See, when you said fruit and vegetables, I'm a little bit disappointed because I have to say I was originally thinking something like Haribo or Skittles.
Oh, right. Well,
do they class?
Well, we could say like red wine, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Would that be?
I'll write that down.
That makes Beth very happy. Go on then. What have we got?
So the more colours that you eat, the more that lights you up inside. And different colours contain different superpowers. They're called phytochemicals, which is called plant chemicals. So you might have heard of the word antioxidants. Have you heard of that word? So oxidative stress. So if you imagine that you had an apple and you cut it in half and you left it on the side, what would happen?
Goes brown.
Yeah.
It goes brown. So when we intake toxins, so say we're walking down the road and a big lorry goes past and we breathe in the toxins or any pesticides that are on food, this actually has an effect on the inside of our body, and then we need vast amounts of these potent plant chemicals or phytochemicals to actually repair damage and repair our cellular damage. So red foods contain a very important superpower called lycopene, and lycopene dramatically reduces prostate and cervical cancer.
Wow. So the colour does actually matter.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And interestingly enough, the biggest study that I've ever seen on lycopene was done by Heinz and tomato ketchup, saying that tomatoes could reduce prostate cancer, which is quite funny.
Do you have to eat all of this in a raw state then? Is it better not cooking it?
Oh, well, that's a really good question. So raw vegetables do contain different phytochemicals than cooked vegetables. And yes, there is a lot to say that raw vegetables are great. However, sometimes, like with tomatoes, when you cook it with a little bit of olive oil on a low heat, it actually increases the amount of these super chemicals in the food.
Ah, so you've really got to gen up on this to work out which ones you need to consume in the right way.
It doesn't have to be that complicated. What's really important that you just focus on eating all the colours of the rainbow. So sometimes I came home from work last week. I hadn't made a meal plan. I was thinking, what do I make? And I thought, well, don't think meal, think colour. So just go in your fridge, grab something red, grab something orange, grab something purple, and grab lots of green things. The key is to eat more green than any other colour.
Why is that? Because you do hear that a lot. Eat your greens, eat your greens. Why?
Absolutely. Well, green food is the most phytochemicals in the foods. And they contain something really important called chlorophyll. Have you heard of chlorophyll?
Yes.
So chlorophyll is actually like plant blood. And it helps us to rebuild and replenish all of our cells. It boosts our energy and increases our well-being, helps us cleanse and detoxify them.
There you go, Beth. So more kale.
Oh, I like kale. We were at Milltown the other day and they were growing kale up there, but not many people were keen, were they?
No, I have to say, I've tried it recently by putting it in the oven, roasting it in the oven with a bit of olive oil and salt and pepper, and it's brilliant. It turns into like kale crisps, kale chips. Yeah, that works. I can eat it that way. I'm assuming this is quite good for kids because that idea of calling your food a rainbow and making it colourful would potentially help kids who might be picky eaters to
Absolutely. So any children that come in to see me, we actually, if it depending on the age of the child, but often I'll say, right, could you draw me a rainbow? Do you like rainbows? And then we sing the song. I can eat a rainbow, eat a rainbow. So you get them to like sing the song, and then I give them a reward chart, and then every day they get a star if they eat a different colour of the rainbow, and making it fun. And when you're going shopping, especially taking children, this is great, but even just, adults as well, when you're going shopping and you're pushing your trolley round, don't think, oh God, what am I going to make and what meal am I going to make? Just think, well, have I got every colour of the rainbow? And making sure that when you look in your trolley, you're shopping for a rainbow rather than shopping for meal planning.
I'm just going to nick another grape.
Yeah, she's just going to carry on eating that. Is there one thing in particular that you think we need to focus on more than anything else? Or it really is just a case of balance it all out? Is there something that we lack more than anything else?
Eating more vegetables.
Just vegetables, yeah.
So even the health departments tell us that we need 5 measuring cups. So measuring cups like an old-fashioned teacup. Mm-hmm. And even the NHS tell us that we need 5 cups of vegetables, mixed vegetables, and 2 cups of fruits a day. Naturopaths would say that we need about 8 to 10 cups of vegetables and 2 to 3 cups of fruit a day. So are you eating that many vegetables, Christy?
To be fair, since I became pesky, I am eating quite a lot of veg. Good. I have to say, I eat a lot more than I used to. Yeah. And I do have to say, I do kind of trumpet on about local produce. It tastes better when you get it from closer to where you are. I have to say, it's more flavour if you get local veg. Better flavour to it.
If you're not used to eating like this, Steph, I mean, I'm guessing that the first few days may produce some effects. I don't know, is that normal? Will you just sort of get through that and then your body be able to tolerate it a little bit better? What's happening there?
Well, there's lots of different foods that people react to. So, for example, my mum can't eat cauliflower. You know, it has those adverse effects of the windy variety. And lots of people find that. And that's because cauliflower, broccoli, leeks, garlic and onions and sprouts contain a lot of sulphur. So some people, if their liver isn't working as adequately as it could be, actually find that they can't process that sulphur and then it can set off extra gas. So actually, rather than people being more intolerant to it, it's actually, we see that as a sign that actually something needs repairing.
Okay, that's interesting. But if you do struggle with something, is there a chance that the more you eat it, the more you become accustomed to it, those symptoms might go away, or does it not follow?
No, it doesn't normally work like that.
You asking for a friend?
Maybe.
So it's for example, a lot of people that eat beans find that can have an adverse bowel effect. But that's actually because beans in the olden days were always soaked overnight. They were always soaked in a little bit of vinegar, and that actually changes the coating of the bean that then makes it a lot easier to digest. So rather than just pushing forward, it might be worth getting some advice and finding out if that's a sign that you could do something slightly better.
Brilliant. Well, if people do want some advice and they would like to speak to you, for instance, where can they go, Steph?
Oh, the best is my Facebook page, Aurora Wellness. I'd just like to mention about the vegetables and the bowel that these fibres that we find in vegetables are fundamental to having good microbiome, and that's hitting the press quite a lot at the moment, that your good bacteria that lives inside your digestive system is how you have a healthy immune system. It's how you make enough neurotransmitters, the chemicals in your brain that make you happy, like serotonin and dopamine, and helps you with the fibres, how to actually digest your hormones and have the correct balance of estrogens and all the hormones as well. So eating vegetables, you know, there's so much more to it than just eating a rainbow, but we just try and encourage that. But please eat more vegetables. And a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, on the Aurora Wellness Facebook page, we did a challenge. Can you eat 50 plants in a week?
Oh, my word. I wouldn't have thought so, but I'm going to guess that, yeah, you can.
Most people were able to do it. So give yourself a challenge, get your chalkboard out on the board in the kitchen and write down. And in those plants, it's not just vegetables. You can include like rice and grains and stuff like that. So if you want some inspiration, head to Aurora Wellness Facebook page and have a scroll.